Alan, the weather's cooling down. It feels like fall and winter's upon us. So how come are you still busy up here at Wolford V-Twin Repair?
A lot of guys are getting their bikes ready to kind of put to bed for winter time, and so we bring them up. We make sure we get fresh oil in them. Fuel stabilizer is really a big thing, especially with the new fuels out that are a blended fuel. Shelf life on the new fuels really short-lived now. That's probably the biggest disadvantage of the new fuels.
Well, and that surprises me that you actually, I wouldn't have thought to put new oil in as it rests through the winter. That's important.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Motor oil in particular gets a lot of acid in it, and so it's good to put it away with nice clean oil in it. It's a lot better than putting clean oil in it in the springtime, just because of the acid that gets from the gas into the oil.
Well, that's interesting to think about. Now, you said putting it to bed, so that's getting it all ready for the winter time. A lot of motor work is done also during the winter, right?
Yeah, our busiest motor time of the year is winter time, because when it's 20 below outside, people aren't riding their motorcycles, and so that's when we do most of our major motor work in the winter time. There are maintenance type things we do in the spring and summer, but motors yeah, that's a great time to do motors in the wintertime when it's really cold outside and you can't ride your bike anyway.
Right. Well, it makes perfect sense. That's when you can soup it up and get it all ready to go and high power come spring and blast it off on the highway. So, wintertime motor work, what other kind of things are we seeing done during the winter?
You know, people will, a lot of the bikes that are like 2000 up to 2006 have a problem as they start approaching between 20 and 30,000 miles, and it's their cam chain tensioners. That's a big one that we're doing a lot of right now. We have a Tupperware full of cam chain tensioners that we have replaced just this summer. It's a bit of a flaw in the twin cam motor, and they need to be replaced with new cam chain tensioners, or preferably with gear-driven cams. We can show you that a little bit later, but that's a biggie right now, because if you let those things go and they go too far, they can actually take your motor down big time. But if you catch them early, it's not a big issue to replace them or update them with gear-driven cams.
Okay, so this is a good time to look at all those things because you got a few months off. Perhaps now, if you are riding, maybe you're going to trailer your motorcycle somewhere and go down into Mexico and Arizona where it's still warm. You can still enjoy that, and you're doing service work as well.
Yeah, I mean, whatever anybody needs. I mean, we still do tires, we still do services, you know, the 1,000, the 5,000, 10,000, whatever services need to be done, you know, we can take care of all those services, you know, winter, spring, summer, fall, doesn't really matter.
Very good. Now, I know that in the past when we've done some riding, I always get a little chilly as we ride along, and if it's fall riding, or even if you're taking a winter ride, and even during the summer, I love this heated gear. You let me wear your heated gear. Tell me about this, and it's so wonderful.
You know, got into that last year pretty heavy, and we kind of decided that you know, why couldn't we start riding a month earlier? Why couldn't we we can add 2 months riding time during the year with heated gear. Absolutely awesome. It does not stress your electrical system at all, and man, this is like turning the heater on in your car. They work really, really well. I rode my motorcycle to St. George last February, middle of February, just because I was going to test this stuff out, and I had the jacket, I had the gloves, I even had heated chaps, and I'll tell you what, it was like I was wrapped up in an electric blanket riding to St. George in February. It was absolutely awesome.
Well, and I am always cold, whether it's very hot outside or not. For some reason, I'm always cold. And there's little wires that run through this, correct? That's connected to your motorcycle. Explain how they actually work.
It's a 12-volt system, and you have it hooked up to a little rheostat. And so you turn it up just like the heater in your car. You can turn it from 0 to 100 and anywhere in between. When I went to St. George, the highest I had, it was like 70%, and I was just as warm as I could possibly be. So if you just need a little bit, just turn it on a little bit, just 10-20%, and it works really well. If you've got windshield so your hands are out in the wind, boy, the gloves work really, really nice too, in conjunction with the jacket. These are awesome. We've sold a bunch of them. The guys love, well, their wives love them, but the guys love them too. It's not fun to be cold on a motorcycle. It's not safe to be cold on a motorcycle.
I could see this as a fantastic Christmas gift, so that could be under the tree. If you're a, riding fan, this could be fantastic for that. So think about ordering that. And even during the summer months when you're riding and you're getting up at 8, 9, you want to get going. You have to wait for the sun to come, warm up things at 10, 11. You can finally get riding. This gives you a couple hours more of each day to ride.
Yeah, and the farther north you go, I've been snowed on every month of the year, literally. I'll never go anywhere because it folds up really compact. And, if you go over some of the passes up towards Canada, I mean, I've been in 2 inches of snow in July and August. And so I'll never go anywhere on long distance stuff without my heated gear wrapped up nice and neat in my saddlebag.
Okay, so even though it's fall and winter, we are still thinking Harleys and V-Twin repair right here at Wolford's V-Twin. Get up here and talk with Alan about all these great services you can do. Thank you.
Love to see you.